What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Postgame, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. Big Dave is at Bow, BAWL Sports.
Bow.
Will, the Go Gottlieb, Will_Gottlieb, our producer and our guy, Joey. Rock with us per usual. Bulls fall to the Spurs 129-124. I am angry. Big Dave, Will, one of you guys talk while I collect myself.
Hello. Well, it's one of them games where you got to crack a frosty cold one. Got to crack a frosty cold one, man, on that.
Murder your thirst.
Frosty cold water.
Oh, that's right. I'm drinking on air. I'm out of my mind right now. Liquid death. This is water, kids. Yeah, tough loss. It was one of those games where I think in my head I couldn't wait to come on here and talk about a Bulls victory. I was ready to come on here and discuss everything that went right for the Chicago Bulls because a whole lot of things went right. But then the fourth quarter came. San Antonio did what we talked about in the post game. Number one in assists. I think they have 37 as a team tonight. Averaging 30, had about 37 assists tonight.
On 46 made shots.
Yes,
They did not have an assist on only 9 of their baskets.
Insane, absolutely insane. The foul calls definitely helped them as well. They spent a lot of time at the free throw line. Even though the Bulls got off to the 3 fouls on the Spurs to start the fourth quarter, that definitely shifted as the fourth quarter went on. And Spurs definitely spent more time there. Keldon Johnson, big up to him. He had a great game also. He spent a lot of time at the line. But the three-point shooting is kind of where it was, though, Will. That's kind of where it went. The Bulls were bad, and San Antonio was good.
They started 5-6, another one of those examples of the Bulls' opponent just getting off to an incredibly hot start from 3. We've seen it almost every game so far. And, you know, the more I watch this, the more it's just frustrating defensively. Like, you don't think that teams are going to continue to shoot like this, and they won't. I think, like, league average on threes around the league right now is way higher than it is usually.
Yeah.
And there's probably a variety of different reasons why that could be the case. But some of these defensive rotations are really bad. The lack of communication, lack of execution. It's stuff that the Bulls need to do better. We talk a lot about the margin for error. And when you are shooting 27 threes compared to 38, and, like, forget the makes there for just a second. Like, it's going to be really hard to stay in these games. The Bulls lost this game by only 5, but, I mean, they got just destroyed on the threes. And if that goes, you know, one more Bulls make and one more Spurs miss, the Bulls win.
Yeah,
so
they got outscored behind the three-point line by 21.
It's just tough to win that way. And sometimes you rely on the free throws to keep you in games. Well, the Spurs had the same amount of makes and free throw attempts as the Bulls. Sometimes it's the rebounding that keeps you in games. Well, the Spurs matched the Bulls in rebounds. So just overall, they didn't really do anything to separate themselves. And there is one area where they really got killed, and that's the three-point line. Keldon Johnson, 6 for 12. I mean, how do you let that happen?
Yeah.
As Lou in the comments said, so sick of the slow starts out of the gate. Defend the damn three-point line.
But it was so weird because these teams are getting, even when the Bulls are contesting those threes, I mean, they're just draining them early on, you know, starting from the Miami game. Like, early on, these teams are just hot. That Boston game, I mean, just hot. Guys are just coming out on fire. The Cavs game. Yeah, like, they just starting out so hot against the Bulls. And, yeah, the Bulls spend their time fighting uphill. Usually that second unit is what gets them back into the game. But sometimes they finish it, sometimes they haven't, you know. And in this one, they didn't.
Well, I thought the second unit came in and played well. We'll get into it, but like Dragic and Drummond really outperformed, Ayo or Caruso or whoever you want to qualify as the point guard and Vooch. I mean, that's the frustrating piece here is like, okay, yes, they go down early. Yes, the 3-point thing is happening.
Yeah.
But the Bulls have been able to either dig themselves out of that hole or against the Celtics, dig it out and then just blow the other team out of the water.
Right.
They got out of it and then they still just kept on sliding back. You know, they would go up and then they would lose their lead. And it was just
you just wonder what Billy and his guys can do differently to eliminate that part where they find themselves in a double-digit hole in the opening 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that trend is not a good one.
No, not at all. And it's the 3-point shooting. And they find themselves in a hole strictly because of that. Not because guys are getting to the basket, not because they're getting to the free throw line, but because they're lights out from the 3-point arc, man. And it's really, really hurting the Bulls. Like I said, in some games they fight back and they come back and they get the victory, but that is not a recipe for winning sustainably over 82 games.
And I'm just looking at the numbers real quick. I don't believe that tonight's game has been updated in here. So prior to today's game, opponents are shooting a league second best against the Bulls from above the break on threes, 44.4% on above the break threes. So, I mean, some of that is just going to come down. Some of it is like you got to be better rotationally.
Yeah, and also I did see people in the comments talking about this because I thought about this when I was watching, but I did not like those rotations Billy Donovan was running out there in the fourth quarter.
Dude, at the end, I was
not a fan.
And like, no disrespect to your boy Kobe White, who had a big night tonight, and you called him having a big night tonight after a couple of dud games.
Like that, Joey?
When he took Dragic out and put Kobe in with like 5 minutes left in the fourth, I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
I was like, Dragic, whatever it's called, hindsight 2020. Dragic threw that very questionable lob attempt on a crucial late fourth quarter possession that did not work out for the Bulls, and that drove me crazy. But before that happening, I would have, stuck with Goran as opposed to Kobe. And like he made a lot of he kept switching guys in and out. And before just like the final minute where you're doing offense defense kind of subs.
Right.
He was moving guys all over the place.
Even on that final, maybe it wasn't the final possession, but the Spurs were inbounding the ball. I believe the Bulls were down like 121, 127 at that point, and Kobe's on there defending the inbounder. Mm-hmm. Like, what?
Even on that, he had moments where he took DeMar out in the fourth quarter. And just had a crazy lineup in. I remember saying to you, Matt, like, wait, what lineup is this? It was like Javante, Caruso, Dragic. It was just a weird lineup in the fourth.
You had like Javante trying to drive to the hole to get key buckets late in the fourth quarter. And it's like, Javante, we love you, but what are we doing here?
Never. That is never the move. And I couldn't understand why he was in there like that. And it was just really weird on the decision making with the lineups in this game for Billy. That I couldn't place my finger on.
It did feel like he was just searching for something that would work. You have sort of the pillars of the starting and the bench unit with, Vooch and DeMar in this game with the starters, and then obviously Dragic and Drummond with the bench. And like, how do you fit the pieces around when you're missing Zach and Ayo goes down and Drummond is hurt and all these things just start happening? But I mean, it felt like a very disorganized game in a lot of different ways, and maybe the rotations are sort of.
It just seemed like their offense couldn't get into any kind of sync in the final 6 minutes of the fourth because guys kept checking in and checking out.
Yeah.
Even a couple of times, once DeMar did check back in for the final stretch, he tried to get his spots. His rhythm was out of sync, and it's like, he had that one on the left elbow where you're thinking, all right, is this going to be a tough contested, DeMar pull up? Is this going to be him drawing a foul? And he kicks it out to a corner Vooch three. It's like, dude, Vooch is having a rough night. We'll heap more praise on Andre Drummond later. He had a ridiculous night tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get his love.
That was another decision I questioned from Billy. In that fourth quarter, right around the same time when he put Kobe in for Dragic, he put Vooch back in for Drummond. And who knows? Maybe Drummond was gassed, and he had a right to be gassed. But Vooch had an off night.
He did.
And Drummond was making things happen. DeMar kicking that out for a corner Vooch 3 on a night when Vooch has basically been missing layups and doing nothing. There's so many decisions offensively in that final 6 minutes that drove me freaking crazy.
Well, even that one where he kicked it out to Javonte in the corner for 3.
Oh my God, right? Because that's what we need late in games.
It was kind of
Javonte threes.
So yeah, man, like it was just really weird, but they couldn't stop the Spurs either. They could not stop them. The Spurs were getting anything they wanted when they were getting in the half court, when they were getting in the transition. They kind of were getting anything they wanted, along with the foul calls that they were getting also. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough to watch.
I'm really glad you brought that up because 124 points is more than enough to win a basketball game.
Sure, agreed.
You cannot give up 129 points to a team that's missing their first or second best player.
Yes.
A lot of these points coming on threes, a lot of them coming in transition on easy layups, backdoor cuts. I mean, it seemed like the simple stuff. I think the assist number really speaks to that. They're just getting easy shots.
Yeah, seven players in double figures.
I mean, Keldon Johnson, 8 of 9 from the field. Jakob Poeltl, 10 of 12. Zach Collins, 7 of 9.
Zach Collins, dude, come on.
Blake Wesley, I think probably his first NBA game is 4 of 6.
It was, yes. Double
Jeremy
digits.
Sohan played really well. I feel like everything kind of went right for the Spurs.
They did.
And the Bulls just like couldn't keep up. And
A few bounces went their way.
Yeah.
And this is, again, one of those situations where the margin for error feels really, really apparent.
Yeah.
Unless Vooch is playing at his best and you're getting, 18, 19 points from Io instead of 12 or 10 or whatever it is. It just feels like all of a sudden these games are really tough to overcome. And yes, they got a great Drummond game. Kobe finally had sort of a breakout, but
he did.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be more complete.
Got to be more complete. Yeah.
You got to get the work done on the boards. And credit to the Bulls who had 15 offensive rebounds of their own tonight. The Bulls had 22, 24 second chance points tonight. That's huge. But 7 of those 15 offensive boards came from Drummond alone, but only 27 defensive rebounds. And there were a couple of possessions consecutively, as I recall, middle of the fourth quarter. Remember when the game was like Bulls are up 2, Bulls are up 4. Then the Spurs score, it's back to a 2-point lead. Bulls score, back to a 4-point lead. Spurs score, back to a 2-point lead.
Yeah.
Right around there, the Bulls failed on 2 or 3 consecutive possessions to secure a defensive rebound.
Yes.
And on one of them, it was even not just a second chance opportunity that they gave the Spurs, but a third chance opportunity when they could not corral the damn rebound.
Yeah.
And that shit drives me crazy when you have a chance to steal a win on the road, especially on a night when you're giving Zach the night off.
Yeah.
And look, no disrespect to the Spurs, and they're a good team. And I know people in the comments I've seen saying so the Bulls are just losing to bad teams and beating the good teams so far this year. The Spurs are a decent team.
They're not a bad team.
But what I decided and learned watching 48 minutes of Bulls Spurs just now, the Bulls are a better team than the Spurs.
Correct.
They are a better team. And they blew a chance to win a winnable game on the road against a team that they are better than, and it's sloppy offensive execution, bad shot selection, and not doing your damn work on the glass in the final critical minutes of a game that costs you that. That is why I'm freaking pissed off tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of that work on the glass, I mean, you touched on Vooch. Worst game he's had all year. Absolutely horrible game he had.
9 and 5.
So many layups that he missed starting the game and continuing on and on and on. 4-13 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3. Every time he took a 3, Matt was like, why don't you step up a little bit more on that 3-pointer and it won't hit the front of the rim.
His range is toes on the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Not a half a step behind it.
And he wouldn't step up. He would continue to be a little bit further back and miss those. But it was the bunnies that he was missing that was driving me crazy. And it was like, dude, how those layups, because they were right there, those easy kind of buckets. He just couldn't hit them tonight. But and this is where we were lauding and giving Vooch praise. At least for me, when something wasn't going right, I was like, he would just work on the other thing that would work. If scoring wasn't working, then he'd work on the rebounding. Rebounding's not working, then I work on the defense. He would do something. None of those things worked out tonight for him. All of them weren't good. But the rebounding is more glaring because that's what he does. He's a rebounder. He's going to get you 10 in his sleep. But, man, he must have had his no dose going on tonight, man, because he was wide awake and just missing everything. He could not secure a rebound. And Zach Collins had even plays where I thought he was a little bit more physical than him. And Vooch last year struggled against Jakob Poeltl.
He did.
He struggled against him then, man. So I'm not going to take anything away from Jakob, but Vooch is still not 9-5 against Jakob Poeltl. He should be a little bit better than that.
And I think part of this is just like you don't play at your absolute peak every game. That's just over the course of 82 games, you're not going to bring it every night.
True.
And so that's like allowed. I don't really have a problem with Vooch having a bad game here or there. I think it's just like the fact that it came on a night where Zach wasn't in the lineup, where Caruso was 1 for 5 and had 3 points, where Javonte wasn't giving you $6 million, just everything.
Energy votes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a night where they could really compensate for that. And again, I think the bigger issue here is the defense. I mean, it's very difficult to win games when you're allowing 16 made threes.
Yeah, and I'm screaming that the whole time. Well, you can't, but I'm screaming.
I can hear you.
I'm sure Joey and Matt definitely can hear. I was like, all I kept saying was, "Don't give up the 3. Don't give up the 3." That's all I didn't want them to give up, and they were just giving it up.
We know the Spurs are a talented passing team. They keep that ball moving, and we know that this Bulls defense is susceptible to bad rotations.
Yes,
and they cooked them.
They cooked them on it. Yeah, they did.
Man, so Big Dave is a Vooch believer. We are all Vooch believers. Some of y'all in the comments got me laughing.
Is he the worst now?
Matt Lennon said, "Man, I'm tired. I'm selling my Vooch stock."
Oh, there it is. All right.
This game, tonight's game, is you officially selling your Vooch stock.
All right.
Cool. What did he have the other night? From 18 and 23. Colin, man, I thought Vooch was going to be the cookie monster this game. He was just a cookie. Got eaten up.
He did.
Shout out to Tyrone in the comments, who said, "Wait, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, yeah, this is why I stopped watching you guys. This guy gets too crazy by a loss, just too extra." Look, man, Tyrone, I've never apologized for being an emotionally reactive Bulls fan. It's who I am at heart.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this guy Will needs to calm down.
Will's.
Look, I know it's October. I know this was only the 6th game of the season. I am fully aware of all the context. I am an emotional Bulls fan and a reactionary Bulls fan, and I'm pissed off tonight because that is a game they should have won. Yeah. In spite of everything that they were dealing with, no Zach, Io leaving the game, then coming back, Drummond getting beat up, not getting a lot of the calls their way. It was a winnable game on the road. And when you lose winnable games on the road especially, it makes me mad.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm ranting and mad right now.
Winnable games on the road is a key point here. It's also just like winnable games against teams that are worse than you, as we've touched on. The Bulls last year were as good as they were because they beat up on every single team that was in their general vicinity and worse.
Right.
Obviously, we know what happened against the top 4 teams. They were 1-14. You can win 46 games and lose 14 out of 15 against top teams if you beat up on all the worst teams.
Right.
This year, they've lost to the Wizards, who I think they're better than. They've lost to the Spurs now, who I think they're better than. They got just destroyed by the Cavs, and that's fine. That's going to happen. Cavs are really good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you also can't rely on beating the Heat and the Celtics every single game. So at some point, these have to turn around. And when you have these, it's a first night of a back-to-back against a weaker Western Conference team, and it's on the road, and maybe we'll hold Zach out this game. And again, I'm not like criticizing Zach. He does need to take care of his knees here. But like, you can't treat these games like you're just going to win them, because it feels like that's what's happened now in 2 out of these 3 losses.
Yeah, it does feel that way, man. And yeah, it just sucks. And shout out Holding the Bag Recordings also, who called Patrick Williams.
He did score 10
those double digits again
Double-digit games for Pat.
Shout out.
2 games in a row.
You did it, man. You did it.
Hey, Holding That Bag Recordings. You and me, once I get rid of this cold, let's go to Vegas. How about it?
Well, let's talk about Pat here for a second. What do you guys think about his game? Because to me, he looked a lot more aggressive in general, even though like necessarily the scoring wasn't quite there.
We can continue that conversation about Pat after these words from our sponsors. Will?
All right, let's hear it.
And while we are reading these ads,
let's hear it.
Do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button if you're hanging out with us live in that YouTube chat. We'll get to more of your comments as we roll on through postgame. And make sure you're subscribed to CHGO Sports YouTube channel if you aren't already. Woo! Grain Ridge Farms. It's a Chicago local meat and cheese company offering you a better all-natural option. Makers of all-natural deli meat sausages and their famous, delicious meat sticks. Perfect for tailgating. Join us for our Bears-Dolphins tailgate a week from Sunday, November 6th. Tickets available on our website, allchgo.com. Check it out.
Be there.
Also perfect for happy hour and school lunches. After a hard workout, great post-workout snack.
Oh, your favorite.
It's my favorite kind of snack. It's a post-workout snack.
Yes.
You know me.
Oh,
always
man.
at the gym.
Oh,
Always at the gym, Dave.
iron.
These all natural meat sticks are hardwood smoked for 8 hours, and they come packed with 16 grams of protein.
It's a lot of protein, man.
Growing boys need their protein.
They need it.
Growing everybody's need their protein.
Facts.
Meat sticks come in chicken, black forest, beef, and flavors like jalapeno cheddar and spicy chili. If you haven't tried these Green Ridge Farm products yet, you're seriously missing out. They're delicious because they're made from recipes generations in the making, and being all natural, they deliver a fresh and flavorful alternative at snack time.
Yeah.
You can always find them in the refrigerated section at Costco or Sam's Club, plus all of your local Chicagoland grocery stores.
Yeah.
And right now, when our CHGO listeners and viewers put a total of 3 or more meat and cheese products from greenridgefarm.com into that shopping cart on their website and include a pack of meat sticks in your order, those meat sticks will be free. $0 FREE free meat sticks
of
just
meat.
for ordering 3 delicious meat and cheese products from them, and you want to do that anyway.
Yeah.
You're getting free meat, people. Only by using promo code CHGO at checkout. Once again, that's greenridgefarm.com. Promo code CHGO. Get some meat up in your life.
I'm a little shocked at everyone here that no one had any kind of reaction to Matt over here hitting a high note before he went into this commercial right here. Nobody, nothing. Joey, not even you. No, nothing.
I heard it.
All right.
It wasn't a high note.
No, that was the little Richard up there, man. Everybody just went on about their day.
Yell.
I'm just a little shocked.
Bulls
Everybody just
Nation.
went on about their day.
Bulls Nation is curious about Pac's emotional well-being right now.
I'm sure you have something prepared,
A
Joey.
certain segment.
It's always dicey.
Yeah, I'm sure Joey has something prepared, man.
Always dicey.
And speaking of prepared, Joey, what time is it?
Game time! Who?
The hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. It is Game Time Hoot. Ever dreamed of sitting in that seat you never thought you could? The 50-yard line courtside, behind on plate, floor seats at a concert. Well, it's all possible with the Game Time app. The last-minute biggest price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never afford. You won't find better deals this season on Bulls tickets. You won't find them. Get you some tomorrow for that Philly game, that back-to-back. You can be there if you just go ahead to Game Time and save you some money, because just like CHGO, it is created by the fans for the fans, and it guarantees the lowest price. So if you love CHGO, like I know you do, then you'll love Game Time. The best way to support us is by doing 2 things, actually 3 things. 1, compliment Will on that perfectly coiffed hair. 2, go ahead and hit that like, that thumbs up. Hit that right there. And then 3, buy your tickets through that link in the description. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app to score the best seats to all your favorite events. Because the Millennium, what time is it, sir?
Game time.
Ooh, from the chest right there. All right, I like it.
It's more of a cough almost.
You gotta walk that off after he did that.
Have we all gotten taken down? Now Will's coughing.
It's coming for me.
The people are asking for the Peg anger meter.
It's more of the Peck apathy meter right now, it feels like.
No, it just feels like that because I'm sick and like my energy's at 50.
You didn't see what was going on.
Oh man,
You didn't see
when
it.
things were falling apart in that fourth quarter, Will, I was
No,
having
Will.
a time.
I heard it.
And I'm like delirious, so like I was trying to throw my hat, but I couldn't even grab it off of my head properly. I like false started a hat throw 3 times before I successfully grabbed it and threw it off my head. It was very upsetting. My God.
Oh man.
And Dave was just sitting there just laughing his ass off.
Oh my
I was
God.
just failing and miserable.
He was so bad. He was so bad. I couldn't figure out if it was the game or the hat that he was just more mad at. But the anger, man, was swirling about. It was a hurricane of just anger and rage. What is the meter? I'm curious now because he was angry. You had to see it. You had to be there, man. You had to see it, dog. My God, I know you heard it. I know you heard it.
At the very least, it's a different kind of anger. We're not green veins popping out of your forehead right now. It doesn't seem like. Maybe
Man,
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong. From what I saw, man, I don't know, bro.
All right.
Joey, what did you think?
I guess the anger meters.
You saw it, Joey. You saw it. What did you think of the anger tonight from Peck?
It was. I've seen worse.
You've seen worse?
Seen worse.
It's
man.
October. I
He
mean,
was upset.
I was
You
October
gotta pace
angry.
yourself.
It was a disappointing game. I don't blame
I
him
was,
for being
I was,
angry.
I was pissed. I was for real pissed.
No, he was for real pissed. That's true.
Look at that
We're back.
furrowed
First-
brow.
Is it Hulk or a dinosaur?
That was
making
Hulk. You're
noise?
right. I did make a change to the
He
brow.
did change the brow.
And I
Yes.
have.
I'm observing.
I was
like
looking
that.
at Peck's sound effects that he sent me, so I thought this was filling here.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
Here we go.
I love that line from
Oh,
Joe.
wrong thing there.
And the hat throw counter.
Oh,
Oh,
Right.
nope, that's wrong. That was other meat. There we go.
There it is.
okay.
That's about right.
I am so confused.
Still
Is
getting,
that a meat? meat?
still,
What is that?
still getting into midseason form.
Still
here.
getting in mid-season form.
Is that what they weigh meat on?
750.
I did tell Joey my anger meter was a 7.5.
He did
after
say
that loss
this,
tonight.
and I felt like it was that.
It was. I was.
Which I
mad.
feel like
He
for
was
this point in the
pissed.
season is pretty high.
right.
No, it's pretty normal.
If that game were like in, late March, early April, playoff seeding on the line,
Hole in the wall.
11.
Yeah.
And that, like, real quick before we move on, I do want to talk about Pat. That is the other reason why tonight is frustrating. You talked about just like beating teams you should beat in general, Will, whether they be home games or away games. These kinds of L's that you shouldn't have to take, that you should not take, are the ones when the Bulls are 7th in the East.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they will be. I'm saying it's certainly a possibility.
Right.
Trying to avoid the play-in tournament, and you think back to earlier in the season,
Yeah.
those wins that were there for you, for the taking, on the table, and you let them slip away.
Yeah.
These L's are what's going to have me stressing out about the Bulls' playoff seeding freaking 5 months from now, and I don't appreciate that, future me and future Bulls.
It's true. And then knowing who you have to play tomorrow, knowing who you're going up against.
Sixers, who apparently just got their shit together tonight,
Yeah.
whooped up on Toronto while giving Embiid the night off.
44 for Maxey, man.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So yeah, like that's going to make it worse because that's a team you haven't beaten with Joel Embiid. So that's why this win was kind of important for the Chicago Bulls to have, man. Of course, you want to win every single game, but especially in a back-to-back like this, you want to come away with one. And you had a chance to get that one before going against a team like this in Philly that you also struggle against. But yeah, it didn't happen, and now you just made it a little harder on yourself to go up and get that victory against Philly. Not saying it's impossible, just
Right.
saying we haven't seen it done with Embiid on Philly before.
People in the comments, Aiden and Ryan, or Aiden and LT rather, wondering about Pat not being in the game late.
Yeah.
Aiden saying Patrick should have been playing in the final minutes.
Yeah.
LT87 saying why didn't Pat get back into the game? I think the only game this season so far where you can say that and people won't look at you like you're crazy.
It's true.
But Pat put his stamp on this game tonight in a variety of ways. He was playing spirited defense.
Yeah.
He was doing his best hustling around screens, getting steals, and scoring in a variety of ways.
He was.
And he was doing so like in a way that we're like, yeah, we remember Pat's rookie year? We've seen you do all these things before.
Yeah.
And, meanwhile, I know, Dave, you've been thinking about it, watching Lowry Markkanen with Utah right now. It's like, don't do this to us again. Don't show us what you got and then stuff it all in the closet for no fucking reason. But Pat showed us the things in his closet tonight.
Yeah, he let us play with
Not like
some
a creepy way.
Not in a creepy way. Not in a creepy way. But yeah, he did a really great job tonight. I'm sure Will heard me yelling about it. But he was awesome in my head. But because I'm judging him on a different kind of scale right now. I'm on a pulse scale. You know what I mean? Like, dude, can you show me some signs of life that you can play basketball and that you can, be out there and be a viable player for the Chicago Bulls? And he's shown me that 2 straight games that he has. The rebound that he had was just ferocious. Like it was one of those rebounds where I didn't realize who he was when he grabbed it. And I was like
one-handed,
yeah.
Dennis Rodman, Ben Wallace type.
Yeah. And I was like, who the hell is that? Like, I was like, who was that? Like, I was confused. Like, we have that on the team? Oh, it's Patrick Williams? Oh, and he can go coast to coast? And what was great about that coast to coast was when he got it, he immediately just threw that little guard off of him that was trying to come in and reach for him. I think it was Keldon Johnson who was trying to get that ball. And just immediately like, no, you're tiny. Get away from me.
Yeah,
comes
Keldon
in.
Johnson's a big dude.
Right.
He made him look small.
But Pat is bigger. And he just made him, like you said, look small. Hit him with the Euro step with the and one. And we're so not used to seeing him get an and one. Matt and I was just very confused as to why play had stopped. We were like, wait, what? Why? Wait, a good thing happened? Something good? This is amazing. So I love what I saw from Patrick Williams. He hit that three-pointer, looked confident in that shot. That was a huge three, too, at that point in the game. And I wish it would have went on for a victory for him. But I thought he earned some time in the fourth quarter to be out there. Billy didn't see it that way. I want to find fault with it, but it's just I know it. You've seen from Patrick, you know what I'm saying, in these early games. So I probably guess I have an idea as to why Billy didn't want to trust it. That's in that way. But, yeah, I thought he earned some time out there. But overall, I was pleased with Patrick Williams.
Much better Patrick game for me and probably his best of the year, which, let's be fair, the bar is pretty low.
Like I said, yeah, different scale, man.
Yeah, the pulse scale.
Yeah, pulse scale.
I mean, you look at his box score, and it's like nothing impressive. 10 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 2 rebounds. The 3 steals are nice. And the rebound that you noted was like a highlight reel rebound, which he does from time to time.
Yeah.
But he definitely looked like he made plays. And I think that's the pulse scale talking of like,
yes.
You remember that he played tonight, and it was 20 minutes, and it was 10 points. But like he made some things happen. He was in a lot of screening action. You can see like he's got it in his head somewhere that like, I know if I set some screens, that's the kind of impact that I can have of just like clearing guys out, getting people open, and then like diving to the basket and sealing somebody. Like we saw during that preseason game against the Bucks. It's like in his head that that's what he needs to do. And you can see he's like very intentionally getting the gears going so that he can go do that. Yeah, I mean, I thought Patrick was fine. I think for me, closing out, like Javonte is a better player right now. And I think Billy knows that.
Right.
He was not like his absolute best Javonte, but I mean, he's still, I think, better than Patrick. And yeah, I mean, he played well defensively. Derek Jones gave you some good minutes. The power forward rotation is just kind of, you know, whoever's got it in that moment. And I just don't think Patrick has earned the trust or played well enough to really warrant being out there in closing moments. I wouldn't have been pissed at it if he had been out there because he did have a much better game, but it certainly doesn't offend me that he was on the bench.
Dave, I see your guy C-Dub in the comments saying that Javonte can only be effective for a certain amount of minutes. Then it's diminishing returns. You needed points at the end of the game. P-Dub needed to be in because P-Dub has been synonymous with points. C-Dub, you know I love you, buddy, but like, come on. Like, yes, I know he scored 10 points tonight.
Tied his season high with 10
and technically Javonte had fewer points with 6, but there are, rattle off. I could use all 10 of my fingers and then some to give you why Javonte's in that game late as opposed to Pat. He's shown it. And yes, Pat showed us some stuff tonight, but maybe Javonte gets you a key steal. Maybe Javonte gets you a key rebound. Maybe Javonte comes flying through the lane for a thunderous dunk or crashes the offensive glass or gives you one of the many examples of 5 Javontes being out there and good things happening for the Bulls. We covered in the first segment that trying to generate offense through Javonte, not ideal.
Yeah.
Not ideal. And it's one of the reasons why the Bulls lost this game because you had Javonte taking shots and making drives late in the game that he should not be taking or making.
Correct. But I think that's what he's saying, like having Patrick in there to do those kind of things because you needed a 3 or you needed somebody that can create their own shot. And Patrick was doing that tonight. But again, like I said, I understood why Billy probably didn't have him in because he had a body of work in previous games to show him, like, maybe I can't trust you to do this out here this evening. But I think as it goes on and Pat Williams keeps showing this to us, then Billy will begin to trust him more because, look, he played more than he has in the previous game and more than he did that game in the previous games. So he's earning back the trust. What do you have, 20 minutes tonight?
Yep.
Okay, he's earning back the trust of Billy because a lot of that trust was broken.
Right.
And he's got to earn it back.
He was down to like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like 10 real minutes.
Like, bro, he was in at garbage time.
Yeah.
Like, he was bringing him in at garbage time. That's wild. So he's got to earn back that trust. And this was a step for it. And I think that's a good step, honestly, because you're like, wow, Patrick Williams should have been in the game. Nobody was saying that in previous games, that Patrick Williams should have been in the game in the fourth quarter. That wasn't even a thought. So the fact that we can say that now and have some kind of validity to it, for me, it's a growth for Patrick Williams, man. But it's just got to continue on. Keep wiggling them toes, baby. Keep wiggling them toes. That's 3 toes, Matt. That's 3 of them. 3 wiggling, man. You got 2 more to go. You got a whole foot. You got a stew going. You're going to be awesome, man. Keep going, Pat. Keep going. I'm with you.
I mean, it's fair to, kick out when DeMar passes Javonte for a 3, Javonte misses it. If that's Pat, does he take that shot confidently?
Like I said, you have a body of work as to why you can say why he wasn't in there. There's a body of work to say it. So it's hard for me to just, be like, well, yeah, of course he should have been in the game. There's a body of work there. We don't know if that could have broken him at that point in time either. We don't know.
I just keep replaying that fourth quarter series of offensive possessions in my head, and it's like torture.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him, man. They couldn't stop him, man. They couldn't stop him.
All right, we do want to have at least some positivity on tonight's show. So, in our final segment before we get out of here, let's talk about the history that DeMar made tonight. So we'll do that coming up next, and we'll also get to as many more of your comments as we can. Keep those coming in the comment section on YouTube. And hit a thumbs up button while we're here hanging out. And
that one.
Reading a couple of ads.
Man, that's a huge stuff.
That's so I can palm a basketball.
Man, that's impressive. That is impressive.
Dave, if people want to stay warm, if they come hang out with us for our Bears Dolphins tailgate next Sunday, where might they find some delightful Chicago sports themed layers that are warm and cozy?
I'll take you even one further than that, Matt. If you want to be stylish and warm and all that cool stuff,
I want to be all those things.
November 6th, well, there's only one place to go, and that is FOCO of Faux Show. Because you already got the best coverage for your favorite teams. That's us, by the way. So get fitted in the best sports gear around, and that's from FOCO, because they got you covered from Soldier Field to the United Center, baby. All north side, south side, hoodies, slippers, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. Get decked out like DeMar. I got to see what he had on tonight, by the way. And you could do that with apparel from the leader in sports merch and collectibles. Again, that's FOCO. Looking for the perfect gift for the football fan in your life? Because if you don't have a football fan in your life, I question what's going on with you. FOCO's got you covered.
It means you don't have any friends.
FOCO's got you covered with hoodies to fight that Lake Michigan breeze. So check out FOCO.com or click that link in the description below. For all non-presale items, use that promo code CHGO for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% off all your items, because it's FOCO. Faux show. No, I wasn't going to you, Joey. Don't worry.
I want to buy my shirt. I'll trade you my shirt for a grilled cheese.
I see Joey has found the Family Guy folder in the giant audio library I sent him last week.
Look at the joy.
I think like 98% of the ones I've downloaded so far.
Yeah, look at the joy on his face when he did
that is a great cutaway, though. It's like something about
At
Stewie
Woodstock?
going.
He's at Woodstock.
He's at Woodstock, yeah. And his eyes are just insanely dilated. I'll trade you my shirt for a grilled cheese. Oh, been there, Stewie. Been there. Today's episode is also brought to you guys by DraftKings Sportsbook. NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball's back, so tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
That's it.
And our official sports betting partner here at CHGO. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins that moneyline bet. $5
Fifth.
turns into $200.
Hundo.
Shit easy. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays.
Yeah.
Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, place a stepped-up same-game parlay today with payouts bigger than ever. DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA. Took DeMar over on points tonight. The man delivered.
Boom.
Download that DraftKings Sportsbook app right now using promo code CHGO. Make any $5 bet on a money line for an NBA game and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Once again, that's promo code CHGO.
Oh.
Download that DraftKings Sportsbook app. Speaking of which, king of the game. DraftKings Sportsbook, king
That was
of
so
the
perfect,
game.
Dave.
That was nice. We thought about giving it to DeMar because 20,000 and he did score 33 tonight.
Yes.
But you cannot play a game that hard
Yeah.
if you are Andre Drummond and not walk away with some jewelry,
Yeah.
Andre Drummond is your DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game. 17 on 8 of 12, 14 boards, even passed 2 assists tonight off the bench. Also may have torn a rotator cuff somewhere in
That
there.
looks so painful.
That
When
looks
he
so hard,
landed
yeah.
It's like how
awkwardly
you
with his
separate
arm
your shoulder.
out,
Seriously.
I was like, "Oh, geez, he's toast."
Yeah.
Took
yeah.
him a while to get back up and shake that off.
Yeah.
Missed both free throws afterwards. And then you thought, "Oh crap, he might be done." At that point, Io was still in the locker room getting evaluated for a concussion.
Glad he's okay.
Our worlds were crumbling.
Yes.
But Drummond, after those missed free throws, just shook it off and then continued to just grab insane big man rebound after big man rebound and get more buckets. Holy crap, Drummond. What a game.
Yeah, and that's why I was upset at that injury because, again, it messed up his free throw percentage, which was doing so well. But you just knew he was going to miss both. I said it to Matt. I was like, Matt, he's about to miss both of these. But he was going to be my goon of the night. If the Bulls won that, he was definitely going to be the goon of the night. He was absolutely awesome. You saw the side of Drummond that everybody kind of respects and reveres. You know what I mean? That guy that can get you 20 and 20. Yes, you saw Harvey Dent. Absolutely right. You saw some Harvey Dent tonight. You didn't see the chaos of Two-Face. You saw some Harvey Dent, the guy cleaning up the streets. The justice was right. And man, dude, it was great. Like everything was also well thought out. You know, the IQ was just flying off the court, man. It was really good to see. Like he was just making key plays. And those rebounds, that one rebound, Matt, where he tipped it over the rim to the other side to himself and got it and put it back in. Just special
That's
stuff.
just like when you are in high school and you're playing against a bunch of like elementary school kids and you're just like throwing the ball off the glass to pad your rebound numbers.
Is this what you did, Will? Is that what you're saying?
It could or could not be. I'm not going to confirm or deny that. But yeah, I mean, Drummond, it wasn't just like the offensive rebound tip-ins or like the rim rolling lobs and stuff. Like he kind of bailed the Bulls out on some possessions there in the fourth quarter where, you know, he was making some really nice touch finishes around the rim. He had like a triple pivot, like hook shot thing off the glass. Like he was just doing some weird stuff. Yeah. And like Vooch did not play well. So thankfully Drummond did. Before we go to DeMar, though, I want to just shout out Kobe. I know we mentioned him at the top.
Yes, please.
Kobe really broke out today in a big way.
Yes.
And, you know, we all as a group, and I think Bulls Nation in general, is pretty hard on Kobe. We saw tonight what he looks like when he's playing at his best. And I can't help but think, like, it's a similar situation to Pat where, yes, Kobe is a much better and more confident shooter, but like I don't think he's really built to just stand in the corner and shoot threes. And so when he can run up and down playing alongside Dragic, he can get into the lane, finish around the rim. I thought he did a really nice job like snaking some pick and rolls and getting into the paint. And
he got to the rim really well tonight.
Yeah.
He had a great all-around game. He also,
and like if he makes a couple of those layups that rimmed out, we're talking about Kobe having like a 23, 25 point night off the bench.
He also defensively played really well, I thought.
Yes.
Say it, Will. A play where he had a cutter in the baseline. Somebody was going to come off of a screen and said they cut baseline. Kobe stayed with him. He got over a bunch of screens. I just thought he was his best game I've seen in a really long time.
First,
all around.
Everything you said is everything I said he could do when we were breaking down that film. One of the keys of it was him getting inside and being that guy who could penetrate the lane and use his size to go up and score. The control of which he did that with tonight is what excited me more, because you saw him like do this, like about to go and say, why don't I do it to the left and go this way and do it like that? And it's like, yes, that's the right thing. Yes, that's the right move. Yeah,
it's
Kobe.
The change of pace. We know he's a really fast player up and downhill, but like to be able to slow some of that down, change direction a little bit more. Like we saw in transition, he was just like bombing down the middle of the lane and then decelerate, hit the Euro step, and then finish. Like these are moves that really help him just develop when he's not going at one speed.
Right,
I feel like the game might be slowing down for him a little bit more. His shooting has been like really bad on the season, but like I do think some of that's going to bounce back. And like if he can put some of that together with what we saw tonight, I think he's in a much better position to just develop on the fly.
And you know, obviously his minutes are up tonight because no Zach tonight. assuming that Zach plays back home tomorrow night against the Sixers, that's the thing that we've always asked of Kobe when you've said, Will, sometimes we're hard on him, is consistency. And if he gets 30 minutes, whether it's starting or off the bench, 30 minutes to get into a groove and do what we saw him do tonight, then Kobe can be Kobe. But I think to the game against Indy, I believe he played 12 minutes. The game against Boston, he played 9. Like, maybe he doesn't play 31 if Zach plays tonight, but maybe he plays closer to 20 than 9 or 10. I am curious what we see as far as his minutes tomorrow night, assuming Zach is back, because it's been hard. Kobe's role has changed every day, every week, every month since the Bulls drafted him. There's been a lot of flux within the organization, coach changes, teammate changes, and to Kobe's credit, he's rolled with all of it. Never asking more, never complaining about anything.
Right.
He's had a tough go of it. He's been dealt a pretty tough hand with the context around him in his early career. But you see 31 minutes of that Kobe tonight, and then you think, what are we going to see tomorrow night?
He could be
and if
that
Zach
guy.
is playing, where do Kobe's minutes go?
And I said this when we did the Prove It. If he plays like slightly below average defense, he's going to be out there because the Bulls have nobody else that can shoot the ball.
Yes.
And we saw what he can do when he's just like, he helps the team get out in transition. He's really good at that.
Yes.
I thought he fit well next to Dragic. If you can just swing him the ball, when Zach or DeMar have it, he's going to give you the best chance of hitting a spot up 3.
It's true.
So if he can just be like within the range of average defensively, he will get minutes. He will force his way onto the court because he is such a good offensive threat.
Yeah.
And like I've complained about for months now, the Bulls just have no shooting.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to shoot threes in this league.
It's important.
It's really unfortunate how frequently we are reminded of that fact that the Bulls don't have any shooting. It's really tough.
It's a thing.
9 threes to 16 for the Spurs tonight. It's rough.
That's your victory right there.
But end on a high note.
Let's.
DeMar DeRozan.
Hey.
Joey, do we have that clip of? And we were kind of like not like actually making taking bets and making wagers, but we were all kind of talking with each other, Dave, you, me, and Joey, about where was the 20,000th point coming from? Free throw line,
20,000th.
3-ball, crossover at the rim.
Yeah.
And most of us, I think, all agreed, like, oh, it's going to be a pull-up mid-range.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be.
But props to Joey, because
Left
Joey
elbow
called
jumper.
exactly how it was going to be.
It's true.
He called exactly how it was going. I went with the pump fakes. I thought I was going to hit the pump fake and then hit the mid-range on that one. Joey said, nope, top of the key, straight up, shot, cash.
Cross to the left.
So there you
left
see
elbow
him
jumper.
and Pop having a nice moment after the fact.
That was cool.
Joey, I also sent you the clip of the shot itself. Here we go. Oh, ads.
Ads. Damn you, ads.
And, of course,
There it
in
is.
true classy Pop fashion, called a timeout afterwards.
Of course he did.
It's nice.
Let's watch it again.
Here's the play.
Yeah.
And you're right, Dave. Joey totally called it.
He so did, man.
Like every little nook and cranny of it.
Congratulations.
Field goal puts him over
mean-
20,000 points. To do
One
it.
dribble, right
He
to left, pull up
Oh.
over left elbow.
DeRozan.
That is
He
just
becomes
I mean-
the 50th
money.
player in NBA history to reach 20,000 points.
Great call from our guy Adam Amin, too.
Very much so.
Giving the moment the gusto that it deserves.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Man.
What an awesome feat, man. Honestly.
And his old assistant coach, Becky Hammond, was
Yes,
also in
she
the
was.
building tonight.
Absolutely in the house.
Really cool moment for DeMar and for him to be able to share it with his old friends in San Antonio.
You see a lot.
the amount of work that goes into being a player of that caliber.
Yeah.
And like DeMar is one of the most humble stars of that caliber in the NBA. Some of his quotes after the Wednesday game talking about this moment coming up tonight, he's like just talking about his Compton roots and being like, hey man, I just wanted to be good enough to get out of Compton and to make something of myself, and never would have thought that I would have taken it this far.
Yeah.
To be, one of this very short list of people to score 20,000 points
Yeah.
in an NBA jersey.
And
Crazy.
I see people also giving props to Pop for calling that timeout, to let him have that moment and to celebrate it as well. It's absolutely true. Because we talked about it in pregame how I called it going to graduate school with Pop. Also, you just remember what DeMar was dealing with his father at that point in time, because his father dealing with those health complications, who he passed on during that time as well.
Pop would let him leave the team.
Correct.
Go see his dad.
Correct.
And come back.
Correct. He would let him do all those things that you normally would not let another athlete do during the season. He would let him do those things, man. He was like, and told him, whatever you need, however you need it, I got you. Those kind of things endear yourself to another kind of coach like that, man. So that relationship and the love they have for each other right there is for real, man. And props to Pop for that.
So now on to 25,000.
Why not? Start it off,
Let's
baby.
see, what, February? You should have 25,000 by February?
So. Yeah, he's going to have that many attempts. Might as well get them buckets. Let's get them buckets on there, man. Got to shake this one off. It sucked. It's tough, but it's over now. Can't do nothing about it.
Great thing about the NBA, games keep coming.
Got
Bulls
another one
face
tomorrow, man.
Philly tomorrow. And so before we get out of here real quick, let's look ahead to that. Rested Embiid tonight with a sore knee. Doesn't sound like anything serious.
Yeah.
Doc said pregame before their game tonight, it's just sore.
Yeah.
Not an injury, it's just sore. Without Embiid on the floor, you think, okay, it might be a Monster Harden night? Nope. Harden took 9 shots, scored 11 points. Only dished 4 dimes.
Wow.
Tyrese Maxey. I was talking recently about how he's been getting marginalized a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when he's on the floor with Harden. 15 of 20. 9 of 12 from deep. 44 points. Yikes.
They got to figure out a way to unlock him, man.
Gross.
Like, seriously. Like, you can't have a guy on your team that can do that.
Hey, Bulls, maybe guard Maxey behind the 3-point line tomorrow.
And then, like,
Just an idea.
just because Embiid is going, like no. You have to maximize that. We know how good he is. We saw it last year, how good he is, man. And I had high hopes for him coming into this year. So, yeah, you got to find a way to get Tyrese Maxey going. Hopefully not tomorrow.
No.
But after that game.
No.
Find that way to get him going after that, man.
No.
Honestly, like the thing that holds him back is just like the Sixers ecosystem. They just are slow.
Yeah.
They just walk the ball up. They run pick and rolls with Embiid and Harden, and it's like
Because their best player is, right.
because there's their 2 best players. But like, where does that? I mean, Maxey's run up and down, like
Yeah.
shooting threes, like
Slowest pace in the league, I think.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's just not really able to be his most like his best self. And I think that's what you saw tonight without Embiid. So
Yeah.
I love players like that. I'm very excited to see him tomorrow night, and hopefully the Bulls will decide to play some 3-point defense.
Yes.
And, we know how their starting 5 rounds out with, Tucker in there.
Tobias.
Melton started tonight. They made that bold move to get DeAnthony Melton in that trade. I saw some people in the comments earlier tonight talking about how their bench is weak and the Bulls bench is going to work Philly's bench. Their bench tonight, just looking at it now, pretty quiet. I think they combined for 20 points as far as like real bench minutes. Doc goes 9 deep sometimes. He goes 10 deep tonight. Niang played 20 minutes. Thibault 22. Trez Harrell 17. Daniel House Jr. played 11. And Shake Milton 9. That's not a very intimidating bench.
No.
It's not.
And Thibault's been completely out of their rotation.
Yeah,
Right.
he has,
Which
man.
is crazy because, like, a year ago, people were talking about Thibault being, the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Seriously.
a complete zero on offense. That's kind of when it's like the same. It's like the inverse of Kobe. Like if you're so bad at something,
Right.
it's just hard to justify you being out there.
Right. Well, that is the Bulls' assignment tomorrow night. Hopefully, the Bulls can get home, get some rest, and then shake off that tough loss tonight and get ready
Shake
for the
it off.
Sixers.
Forget it.
Have not beaten Philadelphia in the Joel Embiid era. Let's change that tomorrow, shall we?
That would be fun.
Is that bad?
Change. It's not great. It's not great. I know you're a youngin', Joey, but you have been alive for the whole Joel Embiid era,
Did you get
right?
the movie reference up?
Yeah.
What?
Did you get the movie reference?
What did you say? Is that bad?
Is that bad?
Is that bad?
You just took one in the jugular. Old school?
Is that
Old
bad?
school?
Is that Brad?
You have
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
dart in your neck.
That's crazy.
You're crazy, man.
Crazy.
You're crazy. Yeah, that's right. What?
It's gonna be
Shut
a nice,
up.
gonna be a nice little Saturday. I hope all of you out there in Bulls Nation have a nice little Saturday tomorrow. Maybe go to Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot. I don't know if we'll have enough time.
Yeah.
I don't know. We will be back tomorrow. Tip
thank
off
you, Bo.
at 7 p.m. Chicago time. That means pregame. We'll be here 6:30. Until then, you can follow us on
Flexing at the UC.
Twitter, Bulls_Peck, Bobby NWL Sports, Will_Gottlieb. At Joey Spathis is our great producer. We are CHGO_Bulls. Back at the UC tomorrow, Will.
Sir.
Flexing.
Go work hard. Say what's up to our security guard friend.
What up?
And IO's folks.
Find out his name.
Find out his name.
Yes.
And yeah.
He's got to find out your name too, though.
He knows.
He's the GOAT.
He only knew Matt and Dave.
He's the GOAT.
I was kidding about that. He's watching.
Of course he knows the quaffed.
All right, y'all. It's Halloween weekend. Whatever you're doing, have fun. Be safe.
Be safe.
And we will talk to y'all tomorrow night, 6:30 Chicago time. We will see you here for pregame. For Joey, Will, and Big Dave, I'm Peck. Love you, Bulls Nation. See you right. Be good.